Hey, Shalom to my Akim, wa Akwathium, Yahweh Shai, Mashiach. Greetings, salutations to all my brothers and my sisters in the Lord. And this is going to be kind of an impromptu, you know what I mean? I know I've kind of been off the scene for a couple days. I try to push at least 3 to 4 videos a week. And I know you all have noticed that I kind of dropped them back to back within 2 days of one another, you know. But I'm just trying to find this balance, man. Sometimes, you know, even the teacher becomes the student, per se. And I know a lot of the brethren, you know, can relate. You know, a lot of times I have to sit back and the Spirit just inclines me to read and, you know, study and just read to gain more understanding. So sometimes when I'm not, you know, recording a video or uploading something, you know, I'm just in the books or, you know, meditating and studying just to try to get y'all some new content. You know what I mean? But in this particular video, man, I just want to give like a small testimony. It's kind of an impromptu of something that happened yesterday, you know, concerning the power of prayer, man. You know what I mean? That I just want to, you know, extort that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, man, is our mediator between us and, you know, Abanawa Yahweh, our Father Yahweh, man, the Most High God, you know, of Israel. You know, He is our bridge. He is our mediator, you know, and He mediates between us and the Father, man. You know, mercy, grace, all of this forgiveness is all through, you know, the Lord, man. It's all through Yahweh Shai. And when we pray, man, you know, at least for me, I pray to the Father. You know, I give my salutations as even in the Lord's Prayer. You know, even Yahweh Shai showed us how to pray. Our Father who art in heaven, holy is thy name. You know, so I open up, you know, something along them lines, you know, and then I would continue to speak to the Lord, man, you know, because He understands. But just to give you some insight on this impromptu, what this is about, man, you know, my mother-in-law's birthday was yesterday. Us brothers in the truth and understanding, you know, and I talk to my daughter about this all the time. You know, birthdays essentially are wicked, man. It's a vanity. It's somewhat of a mockery because people take all this pride, you know, in their birthday, and really they should be in thanksgiving that Abanawa Yahweh has given them another year, you know, giving them more time to either get it together or, you know, to continue to try to perfect themselves, to continue to learn and grow. And what do people do essentially, you know, on birthdays, man? You know, they drink, go out to the club, do drugs, get drunk, you know, expect gifts to be given to them, things of this nature, which is all a vanity. And, you know, and I felt like this for some time, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, yesterday was my mother-in-law's birthday. And, this might sound a little cold, but it's not that I really care. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, I get home from work and it's just me, you know, and my maiden comes in the house a couple hours later and she left the children in the car. She gets to calling me, you know, screaming up the stairs, which I don't really quite understand. I hate that. I hate it when she does that. But I get up and I come downstairs and I'm ready to help get the children. You know, she might have picked them up. She picked them up from daycare yesterday. Sometimes I get them. Sometimes she gets them. We work it out how we work it out, you know. So before I even come down the stairs, you know, she says something along the lines of, the kids are in the car and it's my mom's birthday and I called you, you know, this many times, you didn't answer the phone, whatever. Come to find out my phone was on silent. I had no idea. So I didn't even know she was calling my phone. But long story short, man, before I could even come downstairs to greet her and to essentially get the children out of the car, which is what I thought was pretty much the plan. That's pretty much what we do. She rolled back out, closed the door, rolled out, and, you know, and got back in the car and left. So I'm like, okay, I guess she's going to her mom's house for her birthday. You know, I'm putting 2 and 2 together. I'm like, good. I don't want no parts of that shit. You know what I mean? For the reasons that I just spoke of, man. It's all vanity. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I talked to my daughter about it. You know, I tell her, look, it's nothing wrong with, you know, possibly having a nice dinner or, you know, a piece of cake. We don't do the candles though. That shit's witchcraft. You know, you're doing a seance over a fire. You know, that's witchcraft. You know, but you know, it's good. It's okay to be thankful to be here another year, but it's a difference between being thankful and prideful. And most people carry this birthday thing in pride. So, when she left and she went to her mom's house, I'm like, yes, I wanted nothing to do with it. And you all, this is something when it comes to me, like even on social media, when people, on your birthday, people like say, hey, happy B-Day, bro. Happy born day. Happy birthday. I ignore all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's all vanity. You know what I mean? Instead, I just thank the Lord for bringing me to another year, man. Another day. Have to have more time. But really, the scriptures tell us better it is the day that you die than the day that you were born. You understand? Just something to meditate on. But nonetheless, I go back upstairs. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Cool. I'm gonna just chill. All you brethren who have family, have your own families, you know how it is. It's nothing like being alone. You know what I'm saying? The wife gone, the kids gone, bet I can get some rest, study a little bit, get some peace and quiet. 15 minutes goes by and she calls me on my phone. She tells me, hey, you can come over if you want to. And I pretty much hung up on her ass. You know what I'm saying? Cause I don't want to go. You know what I mean? So she pretty much got the point. But these women are always meditating and trying to find ways to poke and prod to, cramp your style or to get you to do what they want you to do. You know what I mean? You all can't even know how it is. So she calls back 10 minutes later again and basically told me that, that she needed me to bring a pot and a pan. Essentially what she was doing over her mother's house was, she wanted to cook her mom a spaghetti dinner, and spend some time with her mom on her birthday, which is cool. I mean, I'm not against it. I just didn't want no parts of it. You know what I'm saying? And she was explaining to me after she asked me to bring a pot and a pan, because she said her mother didn't have any pots and pans. And I'm like, yo, that's BS. Everyone has a pot or a pan. Like, come on, how does she not have any pots or pans? And then she explains to me that her mother's friends are over there and they're boiling pig's feet in the only pot that she has. I'm like, are you kidding me? So look, I definitely don't want to go at this point, Akim. Like, I know you, Akim, understand, like, when people are eating food sacrificing to idols, we all, at least look, for me, I grew up on scrapple and grits, man, as a child, on pork sausage and all of that. But when you come into this truth and you start to change your lifestyle, people who do things contrary to the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, it tends to turn you off and you don't want to be around them. And that's a good thing, because even King David said he was sitting not in a congregation of the wicked. You understand? And to fear the Lord is to hate what he hates. And as we came to this truth and to knowing our identity and our culture and learning the dietary laws, just for one aspect of it, and that's to this particular story, it can easily make you feel uncomfortable and not want to be around people. You know what I mean? So immediately I was grieved. I'm like, oh my God, in my head, scenarios are playing out. I'm like, man, she's probably going to sneak a piece. And my in-laws do this, man. Be trying to sneak little pieces of pork to my kids. You know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't raise hell about it, and I know me. I'm like, if I go over here and I smell these pig feet, man, boiling in this pot, or if I walk in there and I'm playing scenarios in my mind, and I see her, my mother-in-law, which is my children's grandmother on their mother's side, if I see her with a fork trying to get my baby girl to try that bullshit, I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna lose my lid. I'm a certain type of person and she's a certain type of person. And then at the end of the day, everyone's gonna hate me, because people love their mamas. People gotta defend mama. You know what I mean? It's that whole matriarch dynamic in this, man. You know what I mean? So I was like, I really don't want to go, So what I did, I told her, okay, just to get off the phone with her, because I was immediately kind of pissed off and discomforted. You know what I mean? I don't want to go over your mother's house to celebrate a birthday in a house in which swine is being cooked. And, it's just overall, just an uncomfortable environment. I didn't want nothing to do with it. Her friends were over there. These older cats. I don't got time for that, man. Y'all can be, rebellious slave niggas if y'all want, eating slave food and eating abominable foods. If that's what you choose to do, I cannot control you. And I'm one of those guys to where I constantly tell, talk about the scriptures and let, my in-laws and family know that they're Israelites, man. But as we all know, people, it's either going to resonate with them and they're going to be enlightened by it, or essentially they're going to pretty much put you in a box as some type of extremist or some type of person who wants to put his beliefs on everyone else. And that's pretty much what the situation is with the in-laws. They respect where I stand with it, but on the same note, to me, they don't respect it enough. You know what I mean? They're kind of like, okay, that's you, but we're going to do this, even if you're around. You know what I mean? And I'd rather not be around, and that's cool. Do what you do. That's cool, but I'd rather not be around. So long story short, I hung up on my wife again, and I began crying out to the Lord. I was like, Lord, I don't want to go. And that's how it all started. Me just talking to the Lord, man. As if he was right next to me. Like, Lord, I don't want to go. I don't care. Please, Lord, I don't want to go. I don't want to be around that. I don't want nothing to do with that. I'm uncomfortable, Lord, please. And then as I was talking to him, something just said, go ahead and pray. Just do it legit. So I took off my scully, and began to meditate and pray to the Lord, y'all. You know what I mean? I'm not a prayer. I wouldn't say that I'm like Daniel, he prayed 3 times a day. I'm not like a prayer warrior on that level. Sometimes we all get distracted. At least for me, we can all get distracted with work, with kids, with errands, with things to do. And we got to find that balance, because you can't put nothing before Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So I'm not, preaching to the choir like, oh, I'm the just most prayerful guy in the world. No, I try to pray at least once or twice a day, at least. You know what I mean? But I can't say this. When I'm not in prayer, I'm always constantly in meditation, and his ways are on my heart, and I measure all things according to his ways, which is written. You understand? I do that. I constantly meditate and watch brothers' videos and, read scriptures on my phone or bring out the books and open them. I'll constantly do that at least. But at this moment, I begin praying, and pretty much telling the Lord, like, man, I don't want to go, Lord. These people are eating food sacrificed to idols, that which is an abomination. I don't want to go. I'm uncomfortable, Father. I just don't know what to do. And I prayed for the elect. I always pray for the elect. Always pray for the lost sheep. Always pray for the 1/3. Thank the Lord for the daily bread. I just go through the whole, ordeal of prayer. But I made it especially clear that how bad I didn't want to go. So after about 10 minutes of prayer, whatever, I go in the bathroom. I said, okay, I start dragging out of the house. So I go to the bathroom first, use the bathroom for like 20 minutes. I'm on the toilet like, damn, just trying to kill time. And I'm like, well, let me go ahead and bring this pot and pan so mother-in-law can have her spaghetti dinner, so mama could be happy. You know what I'm saying? And my wife called me again. This is probably like 15, 20 minutes after I ended the prayer and was just kind of loafing in the bathroom, checking my emails, going through social media, going through the brothers' videos on YouTube. Just pretty much just wasting time to try to avoid going there, because I just really didn't want to go. Wife calls me. I'm like, okay, she's about to nag me. She's about to rush me. Oh God. She's about to get on my fucking nerves. Part of my language, but you know how it is. She calls me. She's like, did you leave already? I'm like, nah, I had to use the bathroom. I'm about to in a little bit. She's like, you know what? Don't even come. Yo, I said, man, I was like, thank you, Yahweh. Thank you, Yahweh. The water, Yahweh. The water, Yahweh. Cause it's like he already answered my prayer. So, I'm lipping this, on the phone to myself, to the Lord, thanking him. Cause I'm like, yes, now I'm trying to figure out why she doesn't want me to no longer come. And, she's explaining to me that, her mother's company began, lighting up cigarettes, started drinking and, smoking marijuana. And it's an apartment in the living room with my twin 1-year-olds and my 6-year-old right there. And my wife was pretty much like, can y'all go outside with that? And, her mama pretty much stood up for her friends and said, this is my house. And, we're in that whole, we already know what it is with the nigga woman. We know how she can be. pretty much like, this is my house. You go ahead and smoke if you want. That ain't my problem. And you would think anybody with reason wouldn't smoke or drink around children. But of course, you know, mama can never be wrong, especially not on her birthday. So whatever, you know what I mean? But long story short, my maiden got into it with her mom over that and pretty much left. So, you know, this is, Yahweh Shai works in mysterious ways, man. That's just like a small testimony, man. You know, this happened last night, on the night of the 13th, on Monday night, you know. And I just figured I'd share that, man, because the Lord does hear our prayers. And as we're praying, even before we're praying, man, the Lord is already working things out. You know, sometimes he gives us free will. So sometimes all he needs us to do is call out to him, and he'll work it out from there. A lot of times he's already on it before you even call out to him. He's already established your way out. You know, so this is just like a little dissertation, man, like an impromptu to let you brothers know that the Lord does hear your prayers. I know it's kind of a, you know, to me it seems kind of like a whack story a little bit, but I should have probably did this video yesterday when I was really in the spirit about it. You know what I mean? To give a testimony behind it. You know what I mean? But the Lord definitely hears our prayers, man. He definitely does. He worked a way out to where I didn't have to get tied up with them and be in that environment. You know what I mean? Around the unlawful people, man. You know, call out to the Lord for anything, any and everything, man. You know, and he'll hear your prayers and answer them expediently, or in his time and in his way, which is always perfect. It's always perfect, man. You know? But that's pretty much it, man. You know, I just wanted to give a testimony give us a little story, you know, about what just went down yesterday concerning that and concerning prayer, man. I even did a video in the past. It's one of the first videos I ever did was subjecting people under the power of prayer, man. You know, even when people bother you. And in this video, I gave a testimony. Like, I have testimonies, man. If the Lord got you, he got you. If you follow the Lord in his ways, man, you have a strong tower of defense against any and all things, any and all people, any and all obstacles, man. And the way to tap into that is to have a close relationship with Yahweh Shai through prayer, man. When Yahweh Shai died the physical death before his resurrection, man, when he was crucified, the veil was torn from top to bottom. Because at one point, only the Levites could really, truly intercede and give offerings to the Lord and things like that, man. You know, in the holies of holies, you know, in the tabernacle. You know, the Levites had to intercede and sacrifice for our people. You know, but when Yahweh Shai was crucified, man, that veil was torn, and we can have that direct one-on-one relationship and connection with him if he's dealing with you. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, man, you know, I did a video about subjecting people under the power of prayer, and did multiple testimonies behind this, man. I was working at UPS, like, man, this is like maybe 6-7 years ago. It's been some time. And I had a racist Edomite supervisor. Everyone else had a 3-car pull, which is like you're loading 3 package trucks. I had a 4 package truck pull at the bottom of the belt, and everyone was letting they was just dogging me, man. I had mountains of packages and outside my trucks. You know what I mean? I'm trying to load it. Drivers are pulling up, and I'm dying for it, man. And this Edomite would help. You know, he was a simp, so he'll be helping all the females on, you know, on the preload line, you know, helping other loaders, and was just kind of just carrying me. And I'm at the bottom, stuff sliding, falling off the belt. Everyone else's crap that they couldn't get to is mixed in with my stuff, you know, at the bottom, you know, because I'm at the bottom of the belt. But nonetheless, you know, he made a slick little slavery remark. You know, saw me working all hard, and I was a little bit in my feelings, but I ain't say nothing. And he called me boy or something of that nature. And I'm like, man, who are you talking to? What are you talking about? He said, man, what Cotton never do to you, man? He said some real slick racist shit like that, man. And I was really in my feelings. He was laughing it off. So I went to the warehouse manager, you know, and of course he was an Edomite. So he verbalized his disapproval, but you know, the guy still had a job. He wasn't really, you know, disciplined at all for it, you know, and I prayed against him. And pray against your enemies, man. Stop praying for your enemies, man. Pray against your enemies, man. The only time you should even, if you choose to pray for your enemies, is if they're of Israel. Okay, but when it comes to these Edomites and these other nations, man, you put curses on them, man. Don't fucking play with them, man. You know? Because when they're playing with you, they're playing with the apple of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai's eye, man. And if you call out to the Lord, man, he's gonna bring vengeance. But nonetheless, I prayed against him that evening, man. And the next morning I came in and a package had got stuck on like one of the slides. Because this is around the time when I was at UPS working preload, as you can obviously probably tell by now. I was a driver for them, but this is before that fact. You know what I mean? I was started in the warehouse preloading, but nonetheless, a package had got stuck on one of those slides and chutes, and the same Edomite supervisor tried to climb up this slide. And keep in mind, the slides and the chutes are all waxed, so they're slippery. He goes climbing up the belt and then climbing up this slide to remove the blockage. And he removed the blockage, but when he stood up, there was a low-hanging pipe. He split his head on that pipe, man. Until my blood was running down his chin, onto the floor, into his shirt, everywhere. And I was just looking at him like, yes, you piece of shit. That's what's up. Call Allah Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And this was around the time when I first realized I was an Israelite and started studying. Really studied. I was really close to the Lord. That's when I really started cleaving to the Lord. I was studying, reading the Bible every day, and was in prayer, meditating, fasting. This is when I had a lot of my visions and stuff like that, man. 2012, 2013. But nonetheless, I watched this Edomite get punished, man. Had his head split open, man. And I already knew in the spirit it's because of the vexation he brought upon me. One more story, and I'm going to go ahead and end it, man. And I'm talking about the power of prayer, man. It's very, very important, man. That's very important on this side. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a father and his child, man. For any of you Akim have children, man, if you hear your child's voice cry out unto you, man, you're going to do everything you can ASAP to get to them and to appease them and make sure they're okay. And to recompense any wrong that's done to him, to make right the situation. That's the same way the Lord deals with us, man. We're the apples of his eye. You know what I mean? But here's one more story. This one's concerning my maiden. This was like around the same time, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I was on the phone with my dad, and I was reading to him the Apocrypha. I had my little red book open and was ministering to him over the phone. And ironically, here's the irony in it all. My wife was getting out the shower and getting dressed because it was her sister's birthday. Right? What's up with these freaking birthdays, man? What's the deal? But it was her sister's birthday, and she was rushing me to get off the phone with my father so that I could pretty much get ready and leave with her. But like I said, I've been like this for a while. I don't give a fuck about no birthdays, man. Not like that. Not to that extent. Not to where I'm gonna stop ministering just to hurry up and appease somebody's ego and their pride on their birthday. Keep in mind, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai killed Job's sons, man. Sent a whirlwind to destroy them in their house. And what were they doing? They was all into them Babylonian practices of birthdays and stuff like that, man. Yahweh don't deal with that, man. But nonetheless, she got real disrespectful and disrespected me in front of my father. My father was on the phone. And she disrespected me and pretty much slandered me while I was on the phone with my dad. And I had an instant fire that came up within me, and I wanted to smack the shit out of her. I wanted to knock her teeth out of her mouth, man. I wanted to knock the indignation within me rose to such a high level instantly from the amount of disrespect while I'm ministering to my father for her to do that, man. And something said, nope, don't do it. It's a setup. It's a trap. That's the enemy. You know how to deal with the enemy. The enemy being Ha-Shaitan, and really with the spirit of Jezebel on my wife, which is still, the left hand side. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? I looked at her. I said, you know what? And I can just see my fist going through her fucking mouth, but I didn't do it. I said, do you know the Lord would strike your ass right now? And I begin to tell her how disrespectful and rude she was being as I was ministering to my dad to slander me in front of my father like that, But nonetheless, Akim, and I shared this in that video, subjecting people through prayer, man. Nonetheless, Akim, About words were exchanged, and about 10 minutes went by. I got off the phone, and guess who hopped in the bed after I got out the bed and was off the phone? Here I am. I got in the shower. I'm dressed. I'm out the bed. I'm ready to go to the stupid ass birthday get together for her sister. And now she's in the bed, y'all. Eyes sunken into her head. Talking about she doesn't feel well. She feels sick, wheezing, coughing. Akim, like in 10 to 15 minutes, this came over her. I'm not lying to you. She was calling her mother, crying, saying, he did voodoo on me. He did voodoo on me. She was telling her mother I did voodoo on her, man. And I don't believe I cursed her. All I said, don't you know the Lord will strike you? I didn't pray that the Lord would do it. I was letting her know, like she playing with fire, bringing the vanity of rushing me for a birthday while I'm in the middle of giving my father understanding of the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord did strike her. He struck the hell out of her. She couldn't move. She laid in the bed for a couple hours. At first, I was vindicated by it. I was happy that the Lord, it made me feel like the Lord, like Big Daddy stepped up for me, man. Like Pop stepped up for me, man. The Heavenly Father stepped up for me. That's how I felt. And I felt vindicated and I felt good. But honestly, Akim, after 3 hours of watching her just in the bed looking, man, she looked like a cancer patient, dude. Her skin went pale, like it went flush. Everybody, not everybody, but most people have like a vibrance to their skin. She had no shine. Her shine dissipated. Her skin went pale. She was weak, couldn't move, didn't want to do anything anymore, and just laid in a bed, man, looking stupid for like 3 hours, man. I eventually began to feel bad for her, man. Like for real. I mean, no simp shit, but like really, I really started to feel bad. Like, damn, she's really effed up. She was effed up, Akim. She was down bad, man. And you know what? I have some anointing oils, a small little vase. I keep it in my bag with my scriptures. But I went and grabbed this oil, and it's made pertaining to the scriptures. It has a little bit of frankincense in it. It has some olive oil. It has, I forgot exactly off the top of my head what's in it, but it's scripturally made, pertaining to the ingredients that it's supposed to have in it for anointing. But nonetheless, I went ahead and prayed over it in private. I went in the bathroom, got on my hands and my elbows. I got on my, Salak, somebody called me. I went in the bathroom and got on my knees and my elbows, forehead to the floor, and prayed over the oil and asked the Lord that he may sanctify the oil. Because the oil has no power unless you anoint the oil. The oil is not anointed unless you put the spirit of anointing on the oil. Otherwise, it's not going to have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's just like oil at that point. But I prayed over the oil, and then I prayed unto the Lord. And I prayed that he anoint the oil, and I prayed to the Lord that he would have mercy on her. And then at that point, I walked out. She's in the bed all lifeless, looking stupid, looking like a stage 4 cancer patient on hospice. Real talk, raccoon eyes and everything, dark circles around her eyes looking sucked in, her head looking stupid, man, looking mad dumb. I walked up to her and I anointed her forehead and began to pray over her, man, and prayed that the Lord would have mercy on her and remove that spirit of illness and ailment from her, and that he would have mercy on her, man. Like real talk. And I anointed her while she was semi-conscious. She still don't remember it. She denies that I did it to this day. You know what I'm saying? But I prayed over her, and asked the Lord to have mercy on her, man. Prayed for a little while and let it go from that point. And within the hour, she was up out the bed. We were actually in Walmart, and headed to her sister's house after that. And that's about within 60 minutes, she was fine, and I was asking her, 20 minutes go by, she gets up. I'm like, you feel all right? How you feel? She's like, I guess I feel a little better. Then we're in Walmart, 45 minutes later. I know she's fine at this point because she's back to being herself. But I'm like, how do you feel? How do you feel? You know what I mean? Just looking at her grinning, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew it was the power of the Lord that afflicted her, and it was also the power of the Lord that healed her. You know what I'm saying? And she was grinning and throwing shade like, you ain't pray for me. You ain't, whatever. I don't know what that was, but you ain't pray for me. You know what I mean? I left it alone, but she knows the deal. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, there was another time. This is the last one right here, Akim. I put mad curses on my wife many times. Yeah, because you can't play with your people, man. Stop playing with these people, man. Stop playing with the wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, this one time she was pregnant with, I'm trying to think if it was with my first child or the twins. I think she was pregnant with the twins. Yeah, she was pregnant with the 1-year-olds I have. So this wasn't even too long ago. And we all know that women can be hormonal and women can be like, their hormonal balances are off when they're pregnant. But to me, I don't give a fuck if you on your period. I don't care that you're pregnant. You're going to have some respect for me. You understand? You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. You're not going to. Now, I do have tolerance. I do have a level of patience. I understand everyone has feelings and emotions. I understand that everyone gets frustrated here and there. So I'll let certain things slide, but when it comes to a deliberate, F you bitch ass nigga, you fuck boy, da 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 da. When you've really disrespected me on that level, and especially in front of my oldest daughter, you're in danger. You know what I'm saying? I don't even gotta put hands on you. But I will too though. I will. I've smacked her in her mouth. Yeah, I've done it. You know what I mean? Cause you gotta get put in your place. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't done, I haven't drawn no blood or balled up no fist and beat on her or nothing like that, But she knows there's limitations to it. And when it has occurred, she absolutely deserved it. Okay? And there are no apologies. I did not apologize for it. Yeah, I popped her in her mouth before, disrespecting me in front of my child like a lot of you nigga women do, like a lot of you Israelite women do. You have no respect for your men. But you're not going to denigrate me in front of my daughter because she's going to know what a real man is that day because she's going to watch it go down on her mother. You understand? But nonetheless, she was being a demon. She was pregnant with the twins at this time. I'm talking about like it was a good 2 to 3 days of her just cracking smart, talking shit, just being just being demonic. What it was, and the Lord reminded me, it was Jezebel, that spirit of like real life. There's a demon Jezebel that jumps on a woman, and it has certain signs. Certain signs. I'm actually doing a video on that, man. The signs of Jezebel, man, because I went through this, man. Jezebel can make you suicidal, man. That demon, when it jumps on women and you're with that woman, it can really, really mess with you. It's a lot of psychological games. It'll just be, your woman will be a pure demon until the point where she gets a reaction out of you and then she turn around and act like she's the victim. That's Jezebel, dog. But nonetheless, man, I discerned that spirit, that Jezebel spirit on her, man. And I cursed her, man. And I real life cursed. I said, I curse you in the name of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, man, for your disrespect, man. I cursed her straight up like that, yo. And on everything, I think the next day, and she calmed down. She calmed the fuck down. Cause the demons that's on somebody, when you address them or you put a curse on them, dog, they will leave. They'll flee. Cause they'll know you fucked up at that point. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to be in your vessel no more cause you about to take an L. You know what I'm saying? On a spiritual level, for real, Akim, she calmed down. It was like, oh, whatever. She calmed down at that point. But I swear on everything, the next day she was walking and she said it felt like fire was shooting from the bottom of her foot up the right foot all the way up her side and up her back, man. She said fire and needles, bro, every step. And they had to induce her labor because the last 2 weeks of her carrying those twins, the Lord put sciatica on her. Yep, he cursed her with sciatica, man. Tore her as she couldn't walk. She was in agony, not only carrying 2 babies, and dealing with that, but also the pain with every step. It felt like she was stepping on needles and coals and flames on one side of her body, man. Yeah, and I didn't pity her at all. Man. I knew it was the hands of the Lord. But this is what I'm saying, Akim. All in all, man, cry out to the Lord, pray to the Lord. He got your back, man. There's no better defense. A gun can't save you. A knife can't save you. Your own ego and your own pride and your own strength can't save you, man. But when you have Yahweh Shai HaMashiach on your side, nobody can stand up against you. Nobody can stand up against you, man. And you got to humble yourself before the Lord, too. Sometimes we got to be real with ourselves. We got to keep it real with ourselves, man. And you definitely got to keep it real with the Lord, that he may fight for you, man. He knows you're not perfect. The Lord knows that I have an ego and a pride thing. The Lord knows our imperfections, but confess them to him and ask him to make you more humble and to give you more humility. Okay? Because following humility comes honor. But at the end of the day, man, all in all, the Lord knows your heart. And he measures, he pulls the reins of your hearts, man. He measures the reins of your heart and will fight for you accordingly if your heart is humble, man, towards him first and foremost. You know, you got a lot of, for example, you know, but then the Lord don't hear some people's prayers. That's the point of keeping it real with yourself and learning the law, statutes, and commandments and using that as a measuring bar to where you're at in life. And I'm talking about, you got to be real to the point where you need to repent for wicked thoughts. You know, you might have thoughts. I mean, like keeping it real, Akim. You know, you might like keeping it real, man. I don't, like, for example, you might be out in a grocery store and see a fine ass woman, like a beautiful woman. You might start lusting after her. And then a couple seconds later, you see her husband walk up, they're holding hands and they walk away. You gotta ask the Lord to purify your mind and your heart to the level where you don't fall to adultery of the heart. You know, to where you don't covet your brother's wife. To, like, for real, Akim, we can talk and act all holier than thou, but a lot of us, we deal with this, especially in this society, where these women are permitted to dress any type of way, and they're all sexually liberated and all this craziness here, man, in Babylon. You know, but just using that for example, man. You know, we got to check our jealousy, our envy, you know, our anger. You really got to look inside. And if you're going to be angry, man, and if you're going to be angry, and if you're going to be prideful, be angry in a righteous indignation for the Lord's sake. If you're going to be prideful, boast in the Lord, man. Be prideful of the Lord. You know, we can't be prideful of ourselves nonetheless, but when we humble ourselves to the Lord, man, first and foremost, and keep it real with ourselves and keep it real with the Lord, you understand he's going to have your back 110%. This is why society at large wants to keep us. It's a lot. This is why society at large wants to keep us from harnessing our power, man. Because our power is the only true real power, man. It trumps everything. It trumps every demonic deity. It trumps every wicked device. It trumps every incantation against you. From the sorceries of your enemies. It's a lot. Got a mean cough. But it trumps all of that, man. You know, this is why I like all the food here, man. They always got to sneak some swine in it. This society does everything it can to keep us from being, from walking in a way and living in the way that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach had laid before us. Really, Abinah with Yahweh, really the Father, you know, but we can't do it. We failed the moment we was born, man. We were born in this sense. So really, Yahweh Shai said, be holy as I am holy. So really, yeah, you know, this society wants you to be an anti-Hamashiach, man. Wants you to be an antichrist. Everything here. From the foods here, to the philosophies here, to the lifestyles here, because they want to disconnect you from your power. Okay? They want to disconnect you from your power, man. And what we need to fight to do here is to try to be connected to our power, to pray and know that our prayers are heard. Okay? And to be vigilant of the answers. And have faith that the prayers are already answered before we even complete our prayers. You understand? We got to pray for one another. Pray for the brethren, man. Pray for the lost sheep. You know? That is of Yahweh Shai's fold. Because some of these lost sheep, they just gonna be destroyed. That's just what it gotta be. You know, hence 2/3. But you know what I mean? Pray for the elect. You know? Pray for your brothers, man. Love your brothers, man. And love this, you know, I won't say love your sisters, but you know, the few sisters, you know, your widows, you know? Give a helping hand. You know, to your own people. Shit, you know, we're not supposed to help the wicked, but I found myself even helping 2/3 just for the sake that maybe the deed would have them consider, man, the higher power from which the credit of the deed belongs to. You know, I done, you know what I mean? It's not about me and what I've done, man. But nonetheless, man, you know, let's focus on our prayer life. You know what I mean? That's what this video, this impromptu was kind of about. And I just wanted to give y'all some of the testimonies that the Lord really hears your prayers and he will bust somebody's head for you, man. That's your ultimate sword. Your ultimate sword is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and he's undefeatable. He's undefeatable, dog. He is your buckler and your shield, man. Real talk. If you humble yourself and try your best to cleave to his ways, okay? And be as his sons. You understand? You have, man, and can't nobody stop you at that point, man. Not no woman, not no 2/3 nigga, not no Edomite, nobody can do nothing with you at that point, man, because the Lord is gonna rise up to the occasion on your behalf, man. Real talk. With all that being said, man, I wanted to say, call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Ruach HaKodesh, man. All praise to the Father, our Lord, our Shepherd, in the name of the Holy Spirit, you know, that set apart spirit that gives us insight and guidance, you know. And just want to say, you know, till next